Okay, welcome back guys. I wanted to do a quick update on the BTC charts, what I'm seeing on the weekly and the daily and the 4-hourly, including some hourly as well. So let's go straight into the chart and have a look. So on the weekly, as you can see, currently this is the week we're on, and we're about to close this candle. As you can see, in the next 6 hours and 21 minutes we will close this candle. This is at Sunday midnight. We will be closing this and we'll see where we pick up the next one. So everything kind of relies on this particular next candle that will open. So today at midnight, when we go into Monday, we will actually see what the coming week has for us in store. But if I'm looking at the previous patterns in Bitcoin, what I'm seeing is that previously in January, when we had the dip, it lasted for 2 weeks, and on the third week we were kind of undecisive, and then somewhere in the middle of the week or by the end of the week we decided to push up, right? So then we had a lovely 3 weeks of a push, and then this 1 week of a downwards thing. So this lasted about 28 days. I mean today it would complete 28 days, right? So you know, the question now is are we going to be seeing this going down a little bit more? So if I go on the daily, I just want to go on the daily. And the daily, you can see I've taken some of the lines. I've just deleted some of the lines, right? And I've just kept the last line there, which was the threshold. And I've kept that for a reason. I'll show you that in a bit, right? But if you look at this range box that I put in the Fibonacci 786 and just above and below that, and this was based on a 4-hourly chart. I've put that there, and it's been there for weeks now. And also looking at the NVT, you can see the NVT is flashing white, which means it's kind of bearish, right? So everything is saying that it's going to be bearish and we're going to go down. So for me, looking at the weekly and looking at the previous week and or previous months, and every time we had a dip, right? So if we go back to weekly, just to kind of show you what I'm seeing, right? So every time we've had a little bit of a dip, right, we lasted a few weeks, and then we've lasted a few weeks and then we carried on. So we're looking at this and we're saying, okay, we can't have green all the way, we're gonna have a few reds, right? So this is one of the reasons why previously I was expecting this kind of a market to kind of come down a little bit, right? So I did expect that. And so currently, as I said, and I'm still sticking to it, I think we are going to hit this bottom floor of the 39,000. And there's another reason behind that. I'm actually making another video which will show the reason behind why I have. So make sure to watch that video when it does launch. This one's not the next video that I will be launching on Bitcoin is not going to be a market update or a daily update or anything like that. It's going to be more of a overall picture of what we're seeing in the charts, right? What we can expect. So it's going to be a deep dive into Bitcoin with its whole history. So watch out for that one. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the like button. YouTube does love it. So let's go back into the chart. We're looking at the daily and we're seeing this particular range that I'm expecting. So the range is between 41,000 and 39, or you can even say 38,800, right? So somewhere around that range. And I've actually put my buy order around 39,000. So I said, okay, exactly on the dot, 39,000. That's where I'm going to be buying if I'm lucky. And if I'm not, then it doesn't matter. Bitcoin just shoots back up again. However, looking at the weekly, we know that if it follows the previous pattern, we might have another week of it going sideways, right? Or even 2 weeks of it, we could have sideways, because it's not unlikely for us to have, 2-3 weeks. As you can see, we've had 4 weeks of sideways here back in 2020 June, right? We had 4 weeks of sideways and then up, and then we've had 2 weeks of downwards, 3 weeks actually, and then we went up, and then we had a couple of weeks, and so on and so forth. So it's not just because it's gone down 1 week, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen for a few more weeks. It could possibly happen for a few more weeks. Anyway, don't forget to watch that the next video that I will be launching on the Bitcoin regarding market and what the pattern is telling us, right? So we're on the daily, and we can see that basically we've just broke below this. We haven't confirmed yet, so there's anything could happen within the next 6 hours, right? We haven't confirmed it, but last 2 days we have battled to be above this. But I want to show you on the 4-hourly what I'm seeing. So on the 4-hourly, as you can see, that last few days we've been battling to break above this particular line. And then if I zoom out again, all right, just zooming out again, and just trying to bring that box into the picture so you can see what I'm seeing. So excuse me, get this. All right, let's go back in here and let's just bring this box into the picture, and we can see that even on the 4 hourly, we've been gradually just dropping and dropping and dropping. Now, I did mention recently, somebody asked me, they said, oh, when should we buy? When do we think at the bottom? And I said, look, whatever amount of money you want to spend on buying, right now is a good time to start accumulating. But you want a dollar cost average in or pound cost average in, whichever one you like to call it, right? The idea is to, whenever you're buying the dip, the idea is to never buy in one go, right? So whatever quantity of money you want to spend, split it, right? Split it in 5, split it in 10, split it 2 for, but the idea is you want to split it and you want to constantly be buying rather than buying in one go. Because you could have easily bought here, seeing the 10%, 20% drop. Like when we dropped down here, we had like a 10% drop, then we had another 10% drop, and then we got a few percent here. If you look at the overall market cap, you can see exactly how far we've dropped. So in the last 7 days, we've gone 23%, right? So you could have bought at 10% dip and said, okay, I bought the dip. But if you didn't buy all of it, then you could have literally bought all of this 23%, right? And just kind of staggered down. Also, Ethereum, if you look, is 30%, but I'll get into an Ethereum video later. I'll drop one for Ethereum later, but let's go back into Bitcoin right now. So on the Bitcoin, basically, we can see that on the 4 hourly, big battle going on. Everyone's bulls are trying to keep it up, bears are trying to push it down. But ultimately, there are more data that we have to see in what's going on overall, right? So I'm just going to leave it here for the charts, and I'm going to go into some of the indicators so you can see. So as I said, let's just summarize this, right? I am expecting this to go down as low as this, okay? It might go below this. If it does, then we'll see. But for now, the data is pointing towards this, right? And I will be making a whole video on this. Now, if I go into look into Bitcoin and I go into my investor tool, right? So just look into the investor tool. As you can see, we're still very positive. We're still in the bull run, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure what other people would say, but we still are. We haven't gone above the red line where we do go crazy, right? We haven't gone. So I'm quite good with that. Also, looking at the pi cycle, as you can see, we have not crossed over the green line, and market's just taking a breather. So again, that looks very good as well. Now I'm going to go into the logarithmic, which I also have as well. And the logarithmic, we just kind of dipped below the box that I was mentioning. So we wanted to stay above that, and we would have been very safe. But we just dipped slightly below this, as long as we can hold the fort around the 38. And this is another factor. If you look at my the Bitcoin chart that I was showing, the bottom of this it's not 100% accurate, but it's just around that $38,000 mark and this and that. So you can see, I mean, I can make it more accurate if you want, but if you look at this, it's close enough to that 38,000 range, right? So it's a range that we're expecting. So going back into this, as you can see here, so the bottom would be the 38. Funnily, it's the median line of the Fibonacci on the logarithmic growth curve, right? Looking at the hodl wave, so far we can still see that yes, a lot of people are still hodling, but there are some data missing because people are buying on the exchanges, and the people who are buying on the exchanges are not actually taking their Bitcoins off. So that data doesn't show up. You have to be taking the Bitcoin off to ship. So we know that some big boys are doing it, so this is why we've got some data on there. But there are some other fascinating stuff going on. So if I just zoom into this part and show you what's going on, right? So this is the last few days. We can see in the last few days, since the dump has started, there were some instances where people did take their Bitcoin to the exchanges to go and sell them, right? We saw that, right? And we can see that more and more people are doing it. Now, that kind of takes us to some news recently that happened. So one of those news I'll point out to is one of the big billionaire investors in Dubai decided to sell $700 million worth of Bitcoin and buy Cardano. So this is one of the reasons why last few days Cardano was pumping as well. And Cardano is about to have an update. I mean, I'll make a whole video on Cardano if you want. Leave your comments below if you want me to do that, and I'll do that. But we're going to stick on to Bitcoin for this particular video. So looking at all of those, we can still see that we're still in the bull cycle. The bull market is not over. That's for sure, right? We are seeing a daily, on the NVT, we can see a slight daily dip, but that's nothing to worry too much about. This is exactly as expected. We want it to calm down. If it does, then as I said, I've got a buy order around the 39,000. If we don't go to those levels, then, you know, bad luck to me and good luck to everyone in Bitcoin. If it does, then I think this would be a perfect entry point. This particular range is a perfect entry point in my opinion. But then look, there's no harm in being on the sidelines. If you're already in Bitcoin and your Bitcoin has dropped, don't sell it. Just stay in there. I'm not your financial advisor, but this is what I would say. Stay in there. You're not going to be hodling, right? Just a week or two. That's all it is. So don't panic. We are going to go back up. We're still in the bull market. Every other chart that I showed you is indicating that we're still in the bull market. So other than that, guys, I didn't want to make this one too long. I think, you know, you can definitely understand what's going on, and hopefully this will help you to, you know, kind of stay rational and don't panic. I mean, this is, if Bitcoin, nothing goes up all the way, right? So if Bitcoin's going up for 3-4 weeks, we need it to relax a little bit sometimes, right? And a lot of people will take profits and whatnot and this and that. So when you saw that chart where people were taking it into the exchange in the last few days, those are people who said, okay, do you know what, we've got enough, let's try and see if we can catch the bottom. So they're probably just taking the profit. They made a decent amount of profit, and they're going to wait to pick up the bottom. Good luck to them if they do. If they can't, then yeah, they're going to miss out, right? Whatever. But if you're holding on to it and you don't know what to do, just hold on. Don't worry too much about it. That's all I wanted to say on this particular video. And I'll drop another one, as I said, for Ethereum. So we'll do a little Ethereum analysis, and then I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to release another video on the Bitcoin overall market. So this is not a daily thing or anything, but it will give you a rough idea of what we are expecting in the future, or in the near future at least, right? So other than that, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you again. Take care. Bye bye.